question him, and provide a fabulous opportunity for Josh to hear from random peers, other than him knowing Jen, perhaps. And I did hear that he met Dan Lender, I guess. But perhaps these are people who don't have a stake in your business. They're only interested in helping with the mission of promoting entrepreneurship. Next slide. Please check in on the mobile app. If the mobile app is not working, so be it. One of my responsibilities as an organizer of 1 Million Cups is to report the attendance. So it probably disagrees with what the registration says, but I don't pad it because they ask you if this is an estimate or if it's actual. And so right now we have 23 people, except 2 of them are note takers. So we have 21, which is fabulous to have 21 folks in the room today. So do check in on the website or the mobile app so we get full credit. Next slide, please. So we have great organizers and we have great ambassadors. And perhaps at the end, if we have time, we'll go around and introduce ourselves with a 30-second pitch, but that's a lot of time given we have a great presenter today. I thank the ambassadors and organizers for working hard to bring us together every Wednesday. An important note, many chapters don't meet every Wednesday. We meet every Wednesday, which is fabulous. And it's people in the room today who are here, so you know it. So thank you to you and thank you to the ambassadors and organizers. Next slide. I think I spoke to the mission already. You can certainly read it. And please do, let's go to the next slide. You are the value proposition. That's one of the words on the last slide. It's pretty simple. Couple of key pillars. You can't raise money in this room. We're about your presentation. It's not a pitch. It's not about networking, although I don't even know what that means, because it's about authentic connections. And if you ask me, those two are equal. It is run for this community and by the community, and we need to grow our community. Please help us with that. And yes, we are inclusive. So please, next slide, please. We have 2 sponsors, and I'm going to introduce. Is John Yu in the room?
Yeah,
Yes.
I am.
Okay. Hey,
Apologize. Yeah. So apologize that my camera isn't working this morning. I'll try to fix it for the last few minutes, but anyway, thanks, John. My name is John Yu. I'm with Office Evolution. We are a co-working space provider located right here in Tyson's Corner. As you see in the picture, some samples of our meeting room spaces as well as private offices. So we provide very flexible virtual space options for local businesses in the area. So if you're interested in learning more about it, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And now our coffee sponsor of the month, Basil Lemba. You're on mute, my friend. Well, we'll come back to you, Basil. As many of you know, but
just hit your space bar.
Yeah.
Hold your
Press your
space bar down.
bar. Hold it down. Maybe I can do it. Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Sorry about that. My name is Basilia. I'm the founder and CEO of the Networking Institute. We basically help people networking as easily as they drive their car so they can get the customer they want, make more money, and have more freedom. My information is there. Feel free to reach out to me. We'll be happy to help. We also bring business people together so they can then get more customers. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Basil and to John for being our sponsors. Next slide, please. I think everyone in the room knows how the virtual meeting works. Please do stay muted. Almost everyone is, and thank you very much. Next slide, please. Great, I'm finished for the morning until the very end. So, hey, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Josh Angulo.
Awesome.
And I'm going to turn it over to him in a second, but I want to express my gratitude and also highlight your courage for standing up in front of a group like ours. We desperately need presenters, and we're thrilled that you're here today. Dr. Josh. It's all
Awesome.
yours.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, John. Thanks. Yeah, and thanks to this group for letting me come and present today. Jen reached out to me yesterday and asked if I wanted to speak, and I said, let's do it. So I'm happy to be here. I'm Dr. Josh Angulo. Nice to meet you all. I know I had a chance to talk a little bit before. We were talking a little sports, Super Bowl coming up, and some hockey. I grew up playing football and hockey. I grew up in Minnesota, so I love that little hockey talk. That was some good advice there, John. You're definitely spot on. So my company and what I'm here to kind of to present to you all and to get some feedback on is Optimum Wellness. We're the DMV's mobile chiropractor. Thank you very much. And the challenge question that we're going to be discussing today, and what I'm really looking for as far as feedback goes, is what is the best way to increase my visibility to potential partners and to potential clients? Next slide, please. So a little bit about our company. Our mission is to deliver the highest quality musculoskeletal care to our patients by adhering to uncompromising quality that comes to you in your home, at your office, and at your fitness facility. That's our website there, dmvmobilechiropractor.com. That's really what it's all about. And that mission statement is really, I could talk about that mission statement for a long time, but we're going to get into it in just a little bit. But that's really what our company is all about. We just want to provide the best care possible. And doing it in a mobile setting actually allows us to really, really ensure that we can give high quality care. Next slide, please. So company timeline. So the company was founded last year, 2022. Selling our first product or first service was actually this month, only, what day is it today? Like 9 days ago. On February 1st, we officially launched the company. And so it's still a relatively new company. We're really in growth mode right now. And yeah, it's a really exciting time. So I'm excited to be here in front of all you entrepreneurs. Next slide, please. Okay, so what problem does our business solve? So Optimum Wellness is a mobile concierge chiropractic practice that is establishing a superior approach to new and innovative healthcare. Okay, what does all that mumbo jumbo mean? Essentially, the business is set up to really kind of eliminate some of the problems that we see in the traditional healthcare and manual medical system, which is, lots of patients coming in and out, lots of time getting to and from appointments, small amount of time in the room with the actual provider, and kind of feeling like you're just getting a stereotypical appointment that every other person before and after you is getting. And our company really helps kind of fix it and bring a solution to some of those problems. Next slide, please. Okay, so how are we generating revenue? We do, obviously, as I mentioned already a couple of times, we do mobile appointments, and we do appointments a la carte. So we can purchase as many or as little appointments as you might want, one appointment at a time. We also offer membership levels. We have a membership program that we offer our clients. I really encourage that, because I do believe that routine maintenance care can really help a lot of people, and not just being in a place where we're working on disease and sick healthcare, more about preventative healthcare and staying on top of things, right? And that's really what the membership program allows us to do. We have a membership fee. When you become a member, an Optimum member, you gain access to discounted prices, exclusive member benefits like 24/7 access to talk with your provider, preferred booking, lots of other member benefits. And yeah, so those are our two main revenue generators. And then our big focus is really on athletes, families, executives. And we're starting to also kind of develop some corporate programs for some small companies, some small businesses, or even large companies that maybe want to offer their employees a little bit of a health and wellness add-on as they're at work. Next slide, please. So our value proposition, I've kind of mentioned some of this already. Our offering is mobile chiropractic care. The audience that we're really looking for are athletes, executives, families, corporate programs, and corporate wellness. Our values, we want you to receive the specific care you need in order to make health and wellness more convenient, less stressful. We offer options for your specific situations. I can't stress that enough. the whole reason why I created this company was to create specific healthcare that's tailored to you. And lots of companies out there and lots of providers talk about, giving specific care and patient specific and putting the patient first. Well, they're not really built to do that. Our company is built and structured from the ground up to really put the consumer, the patient first. And that's really what we do. And that's the value add that I'm really passionate about. And again, the differentiator, as I already said, is the mobile chiropractic care. Get the care you need when and where you need the care. Next slide, please. So our target audience, again, athletes, families, executives, corporate programming. What companies and organizations could we benefit from? This is really where we've been trying to grow and get some steam as we've started recently is some medical doctors, primary care physicians, concierge physicians. Those would be great referrals. Massage therapists, sports teams, professional, and youth as well. Lots of kids, young athletes, as we're talking about hockey. Lots of hockey players can bang themselves up. Same with many other sports. I'm really familiar with treating lots of different sports. That's kind of where my background really lies, is in sports medicine, sports chiropractic. And so that's right in my wheelhouse. And then HR leaders as well. As far as marketing channels, we're using speaking at events like this, network marketing, BNIs, local BNI groups. We have our website functioning right now, as I mentioned earlier. We have a couple different social medias. We are building our presence on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And then we have some partnerships with a couple of local gyms, and we're hoping to build a partnership actually with a local Pilates studio as well. So that's kind of some of our marketing channels. We're also doing a little bit of some SEO, Google My Business marketing, as well as looking into developing a Google pay-per-click ad campaign as well. Next slide, please. So as far as competitors, the number one most obvious competitor are brick and mortar chiropractors. Those are going to be the people that you see when you're driving around. There's chiropractic clinics all over. I used to work in one. And I do always want to make sure to mention brick and mortar chiropractors do a great job, and they're trying to give high quality care. But for me, and what I felt like my purpose was and my mission needed to be was to kind of change the mold a little bit and be able to give a little bit higher touch and a little bit higher value to my potential clients. And that's why I really wanted to go this way. But like I said, brick and mortar chiropractors are one of the competitors because there's one nearby, right? So trying to compete with those, that's definitely our biggest competitor for sure. Number two is going to be any mobile physical therapy clinics, which are becoming pretty popular actually. There's a decent presence of mobile physical therapy. There's not really a good presence of mobile chiropractic. And so we're kind of lagging behind as chiropractors in that kind of development of that, new and innovative style of treating. And so there's definitely a lot of mobile PTs. There can be a lot of similarities between chiropractic and physical therapy. There can also be a lot of differences. And I think actually that there can be a really good referral and partnership opportunity. If we find that, if I were to find or Optimum Wellness was to find the right PTs that we could work with and refer back and forth, I actually think it could be a good referral partnership. And option number three, or competitor number three, would be acupuncturists, massage therapists. We kind of blend in some of those same areas, doing lots of passive modalities. But again, I'm truly believe that there's enough fish in the sea, really, and I think that we could really work together. So although this is the competitor slide, I really see these as also referral opportunities, and truly, I believe in that really strongly. Okay, next slide, please. So as far as leveraging competitors, I kind of was alluding to this on the previous slide, but I think that collaborating with other chiropractors, physical therapists, acupuncturists, concierge medical doctors who don't offer mobile services, or maybe they have patients that need a little bit more treatment time per their condition, as well as gyms, health centers, et cetera. That could be a potentially great approach, and really just creating a really nice collaborative environment. I think that could be a really good way to kind of leverage some of those competitors and really work together, as I was alluding to before. Next slide, please. So the question is, I hope you guys feel like you got a little bit of info. I was trying to go as fast as I could to keep it short and concise. But the question is, what is the best way to increase visibility to partners and clients? That QR code will take you to my business page. It has my email, office phone number, and a link to the website. So if you have a second to go ahead and scan, that's the best way to get a hold of me. You can shoot me an email, give me a phone call, whatever. And I think now it's time to open it up for some questions. So I hope that was okay. It's my first time doing this.
You did amazing. So let's give a round of applause. And with that, I turn over the mic.
Okay, so just a real quick recap. For those of you, if you have a question, please raise the hand icon and I will call on you. I'm going to start really quickly with a couple of points since I'm the sports mom. So I would try to check and see if you can either do a presentation or do something during preseason for youth sports. There's some large youth sports organizations here. I would concentrate not on a specific sport necessarily, although Loudon Soccer is huge because they used to be one of my clients. I would concentrate on multi-sports, youth sports. So something like Fairfax Youth Police Organization, that one is a multi-sport. SYA is a multi-sport. So I can share those multi-sports with you because I used to be in sports tech and worked with them all.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do, is reaching out to the parents. They usually, for each season, and that's why I say go to a multi-sport organization for youth. For each season, they have a safety protocol thing with the parents, and it's a great way to get a large audience for, to touch base with them. The other thing is there is a massage therapist that I'm going to introduce you to. Her name is Meg Donnelly. She is with Nova Weekend Warriors. So she works with a lot of athletes that are like doing triathlons and doing that kind of recovery type of thing. So I will send that over to you. So let's start this morning with Hyacinth.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Josh, that was a wonderful presentation, and congratulations on your first client. So in my past life, I was an Allstate insurance agent, and obviously auto accidents seem to be my life. Is that something that you've considered as far as a partnership with, and not to say insurance agents, because we're not supposed to really, but like someone in that type of realm. So maybe lawyers or, someone else in that realm, because as we know, accidents happen every day. And the first, step usually is to go and get, some care. So is that something that you've also thought about as far as a partnership in that realm?
I haven't thought about it as far as a partnership, as far as looking for like an attorney or a lawyer, but that's a great idea. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I hadn't really thought about it in that capacity. Mm-hmm. I've worked on tons and tons of MBA cases, as the time in my past, but I think that's a great idea to leverage and to look for a partnership there. So I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And let's go with Tom Stripe.
Morning, everyone. Josh, you should go into public speaking and give this other stuff up. Come on, you're very good. To be on our show here. So not only am I a realtor, I'm also co-founder of Superior Options for Seniors, which is a group of 10 of us that supply different disciplines to the senior marketplace. I did not hear you mention seniors. You got everybody in the world covered, but us all. What can you do for us?
Well, that's because I consider most seniors to still be an athlete, despite their mindset, actually. So I throw them into that. I think if you're trying to be active and go up and down your stairs, or you have a goal that you want to accomplish during the day, then you're an athlete in my book. And so that's how I view them. And I treat them like athletes. One thing I didn't mention in the presentation also, for the 2022 season, I was the team chiropractor for the Washington Spirit, the women's soccer team. And so I love using some of that background. And so to your point, I think it was Tess about Loudon Soccer, and you're totally right. That's a great place to be. And I had thought about it, looking into the youth sports, but hadn't gotten that far yet. So I think that's a great idea. But again, to your point, as far as the seniors go, there's so much care that we can do. I have an appointment later today where I'm going to go to the home of a senior, and we really work on eliminating as much pain as possible in the areas that are bothersome. And my favorite thing is getting seniors moving, doing some resistance training, doing some corrective exercise training, getting them stronger. You'd be shocked at just activating some muscles in a senior, how much of a difference that can make, and make them just feel like they can move so much better. So yes, we absolutely can treat a senior citizen or anybody in that age range. I really like working with them. Actually, they're quite fun to work with. So yes.
And we'll go to John Norris.
Hey, Josh, how you doing? Have a question. What's your payer mix? Are you aligned with any insurance providers as an in-network provider? Because To follow up on Tom Shipes, I do Medicare, and obviously some seniors are not mobile and being able to get to them. Although, as you know, Medicare has limited chiropractic benefits traditional Medicare. There are some advanced plans that offer some chiropractic benefits, but obviously if a barrier entry is cost, having a copay or something for your services obviously would entice people to use you more than if they have to pay, a full, rack rate or whatever you want to call it. Just curious for what your mix is there.
That's a great question. That's the biggest question typically that I get when I talk about this business. So great question. We're out-of-pocket providers. We're out of network. So essentially we're out-of-pocket providers. We're in the process of becoming out of network. Those are actually two different things. So when you, as I'm sure you know, when you apply to be out of network, you have to basically submit to the insurance provider that you are a real business. You're a real provider. You have a medical license. We're in the process of getting that phrase terminology certified so that we can be out of network provider. That would then provide our customers with the ability to present what's known as the super bill in the industry, which is essentially a big giant bill that has all the correct insurance billing and coding on it for our patients to submit back to their insurance companies on their behalf. And most times you can get reimbursed. Now, I know this is on Facebook Live. Every policy is different. Everybody's policy is different. So I can't guarantee that anybody's going to be getting reimbursement back. But that is a very popular thing as many providers are going out of network because they're kind of tired of the insurance system. That is growing in popularity very much so. So we are out of pocket providers right now, which means we don't accept insurance, but we're growing to hopefully solidify being considered an out of network provider to allow our clients to submit super bills hopefully by the end of the next 4 months or so. Great question.
Okay. And let's go to Alex.
Thank you. Josh, that was a really good presentation. I'm just gonna piggyback on what someone mentioned earlier regarding Loudon Soccer, and also I guess touch on your work with the women's soccer team. So I live in Arlington, and in Arlington we have what is called the Arlington Soccer Association, which is mainly for kids between the ages of 5 and I think 18. But besides them, the county itself, they put together a rec league, and actually I play pickup soccer Tuesday nights. So maybe trying to learn more about those programs and seeing if you could sponsor or at least show up, get to know the people, put a presentation for those members, because the individuals that I'm playing soccer with, it's they're between 20 and 65 years old. So I'm just thinking, if you want an introduction, I'll be happy to do so. I'm involved with the Arlington Soccer Association, with the nonprofit, and I know some folks at the Arlington County level.
Awesome. Yes, to answer your question, yeah, that sounds like a great opportunity. I'd love to do that. I'd love to get a connection there. I'll follow up with you after the meeting. That's fantastic. I appreciate you sharing that. Thanks, Alex.
And then next, let's go with Bazil.
Hi, thank you, Josh. Congratulations on starting.
Thank you.
That's great. That's the thing to do.
Thank you.
Good presentation as well. You struck me like disrupting the industry, like the Uber to a degree. Not that you're in the business, but
I kind of like that. I like that. Disrupting the industry. I like that, Bazil. Thank you.
That's good. You're upgrading it. If you didn't disrupt it, you're upgrading it to bringing the service to people. That's phenomenal.
Awesome.
A lot of people will appreciate that. I'm thinking about professionals, but I have a name for you. That name is Jennifer 7. To call me Jennifer 7. Call me, we'll talk about her. This is somebody who used to do shows, healthcare with corporate. She's in there, done that for years. She's tremendously connected. So I want you to call me, we'll talk about it, and then I'll do an intro for you.
I would love that. I'll definitely take you up on it, and I'll reach out to you. Thank you so much for that information. And thanks for the feedback. I like that. Disruptor.
Yeah. I'm not done yet. I'm just kidding.
Oh, sure. Please.
There's one thing I would like to share. I find that you're reaching out to many people, which is great. I'll keep doing that. Now, long term, I would suggest you think in these terms: quantity, quality, and viability. Okay, keep reaching out to all of them. But as you move into it, you are going to find that you have quality prospect. And further down the line, you'll find that you have viability. Viability as the people who sign a contract with you, for example, in the last 2, 3, 4 years. So the game is played quantity, like somebody selling cars, for example. They sell a lot of cars. And one day they realize, oh my God, I got a bigger commission when I sell a Mercedes, for example. So now the Mercedes become the quality customers, you see. And then following that, now they reach viability. Viability is what? Viability is the guy who has a fleet. He doesn't buy one car, he buys 15. So viability, where you make the most money and you sustain your business. So again, don't change what you're doing, but I would love for you just to keep that in mind. You're doing quantity now. And then what are the quality prospects? And then what are the viability prospects?
Got it. I think that's great advice. Thank you. I appreciate that perspective. Thanks. Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And next, we're going to go with Ms. Philly 2023, Dr. Carolyn Mack.
I like that, Tess. I think I'm going to embrace that, Miss Philly 2023. So anyway, Dr. Josh, thank you so much. Thank you for being a good sport about the whole sports things earlier too. But I love the concept that you've come up with the mobile chiropractic, and being a former sports mom and wannabe athlete on a regular basis. I could definitely use your services. And also being in the same group that Tom Shipe talked about, the older, mature person that wants to be an athlete. So
absolutely,
just thinking about all of these possibilities. I mean, the more as everybody spoke, I came up with more opportunities. But what is your, I know you consider them athletes, but what would be your premier or age group that you want to work with? If you had an opportunity to work with age group A to B, what would it be for you?
Man, that's really tough. I don't know if I don't want to exclude anybody. I don't want to sound like,
I don't
want to sound like I don't want to sound like a cop-out, but I really enjoy treating lots of different, I mean, my youngest patient that I've worked with is 3.5, 4 years old, and my oldest patient is 91. So I've worked with people everywhere, and I enjoy different parts of different things. You know, when you're working with an adolescent athlete, they're like discovering their body and how to like use it and developing coordination, and I'm a part of that process and helping them develop good proprioception and avoiding injuries down the line and making sure their movement mechanics are good. But then if I'm working with a 91-year-old, it's satisfying in such a different way. You know, the 91-year-old might not be able to really move that well, and after the 1 hour appointment, they can go from not being able to move their arms above their shoulders to doing shoulder presses with 10-pound weights. Like, that's pretty awesome, you know, and that really gives me a lot of I really enjoy that part of it. So as I'm going to cop out, I think, and say that I can't really say that I enjoy only one, because they all kind of have different, really unique things about them, and they bring me joy in different ways. So that's how I'm going to answer, I think. Yeah.
That's fair. I was just trying to see if there was a way, because for each one of those groups that you even named, there are a multitude of opportunities for you to be able to reach out. You know, you can do, if you're doing promos, you can just put your thing out there at a market for vendors where they're just in it. And, you know, people from all walks of life can use your services. So you don't have to just go to just sports events or dancers, which dance clubs, dance groups, dance teams, they need your services as well. But to just go out and just, you know, if you love serving all the people, as you said, then go to events where you can just display and give information on what it is that you do, and see what happens. Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me the platform to speak.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for that feedback. And just on your last point there, actually, I tell you what, you want to know who we're talking about football and hockey earlier. You want to know who the real badass people are? It's the dancers, the gymnasts, the cheerleaders. Those people are dealing with serious injuries, and they're classically and chronically underserved in manual medicine. And
go into the cheer world. My daughter has almost had her nose broken multiple times with people falling on her face because she was a backstop. So
I'm the oldest of 4, and my 3 younger sisters all did competitive cheer and dance from 4 until 18. So couldn't agree more.
Yep.
Couldn't agree more. I also actually, on your point of athletes, I have a lot of specializations with golf. Actually, I treat a lot of golfers. So that's another really big one. Low back pain is one of the most common things that golfers deal with, and that's one of the things that I treat the most by far is low back pain. So it's a really good kind of area to be as well.
Okay, and let's go with Reggie.
Hi, Josh. Great presentation. I have a couple things. I'll try to be as brief as possible. I don't know if you've explored relationship with the St. James. They are really large facility in Springfield, and they are actually opening up other locations. So if you can connect with anyone there, I think that'd be a great fit. And then my question was about what type of vehicle you use to do your services. A lot of people that have your business model, they have a very well-known or easily recognizable vehicle. And I think as a new business, if you had something that really stood out, was like wrapped up really nice, and anywhere in Northern Virginia, if I see that, I know that's Optimum Wellness. As much as you feel comfortable, I think something like that would really help as far as being visible and being able to stand out. So I don't know what kind of vehicle you use, but
Yep.
I would definitely say invest in that, because that's what people are going to remember. If they're at a traffic light or whatever, they're going to remember a unique looking
Sure.
vehicle.
Sure.
And lastly, so there is a woman who used to come here, and she has a mobile physical therapy business. Her name is Dr. Chanel James. So I can connect you with her, because she's
Nice.
been doing the mobile treatment, thing for a while. So she'd be a great person to talk to just about getting that going. And then lastly, on your website and other places, consider putting a video, showing your handsome face, talking about why you started this business, why you're using this model, and then also great testimonials, because people like to hear how great you are, but not necessarily from you. So that's it.
Awesome. Great feedback. I wanted to real quick touch on your question about the vehicle. So this is a great forum for some feedback. So I'm going to take advantage of this right now. So there's been a big debate on wrapping the vehicle or not wrapping the vehicle. And I think what you said is a great point. The other side of that coin, to play devil's advocate, is being able to offer privacy and exclusivity, and so that your neighbors don't know that your chiropractor's in your house treating you, and having that little bit of privacy. I'd love to see like a show of hands. So who would be on team wrap the vehicle? I would just like raise your hand up in the air. I'm just like really interested to see. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool. Who's on team privacy? Keep it unwrapped, unmarked vehicle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like 50-50 split. So at least from the hands that I've seen.
Yes,
So
I have a point. The HIPAA law. You remember, the HIPAA law by protecting the information of the patient.
Oh, HIPAA law. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, take that into account here when we talk about it. Or maybe some other vehicle that do not deal with the customer, like maybe you can write it. But if the one going to the customer, think about how the HIPAA law plays into that.
Yeah, of course. That's
Okay.
a great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for indulging me there with the raising the hand. Sorry to put everybody on the spot, but that's been a big debate we've been talking about. So that's a great question. Great question.
Okay, and let's go with Ken Portner.
Hi, Josh, really great stuff. You have thought this through really carefully and apparently are doing a ton of work to get things done. I'm going to quote John Rutenberg. It seems as though at this point in your business, you may be in the valley of despair. The valley of despair is where your expenses are exceeding your income at the beginning of an entrepreneurial venture.
Yep.
So you're nodding as if that may be the case. So you mentioned in your publicity that you are hitting every social platform. You're doing all of this networking. You got your website up. It was this long, seemingly well-rehearsed list of all of the marketing targets. But what concerns me is an adage that people have heard me say here before: the riches are in the niches. I have this fantasy. You mentioned that golfers have a real problem. Imagine your wrapped vehicle in the parking lot of a country club, grabbing people as they come off the 19th hole right after they wrecked their back. That might generate enough clients in that niche to get you out of the valley of despair. It's getting out of the valley of despair where you don't need everybody who you can possibly serve. You just need the people who can pay the bill to get you out of there and up into the black. And so by doing everybody, serving little old ladies and football players, you don't have the focus for those next 5, 10, 15 who are out there, because your focus is so broadly spread. And in the valley of despair, this shotgun approach is hugely seductive. You said, I don't want to cut anybody out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to look at, because I don't want to cut anybody out. That's a mindset thing that's going on with you because of this valley of despair. And I really want to urge you to reconsider the scattershot approach at this point in your life cycle. And as Basile said, quantity, quality, right? And to jump a little ahead into quality, especially because you've got to find people at this point, today, tomorrow, the next day, with deep enough pockets to pay the freight.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to take a moment and just urge you to reconsider this scattershot mindset for this point, so that you can get out of the valley of despair with a rifle focus on a niche that will deliver clients sooner rather than later.
I appreciate the feedback. That's awesome. No, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Happy to
Okay,
help out. That's why we're here.
For our final two, we'll go to Dan Lender and then turn it back over to Mr. Rutenberg.
Thank you. Thanks, Josh. You're very polished in your presentation, so you did a very good job. I was thinking about, I think one of the first times we met was maybe at a Reston Chamber event.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but I think big companies, I mean, and I'm thinking the Reston Chamber because of like the Googles, the Microsofts, and the Leidoses of the world. So, big companies frequently, I mean, that I've worked for in the past, have had days where they had a massage therapist come in and you could go get a 15-minute massage or something. So I'm thinking about, and those companies have lots of money, right? So it's a matter of using the context that you probably already have to get to some of those big corporations to get corporate money. I mean, they're very deep pockets. So I think instead of going to a massage therapist, I mean, nothing wrong with them, but the money might as well go to you, right? And so if they're going to provide a benefit for their employees, it might as well be X number of minutes with a chiropractor who knows this. So, and a lot of those people are golfers, and I mean, it's a great way to get business. And as far as your cars, you just have to do well enough to get another car. So you have the car without the badging sometimes, and you have the one with the badging for other events. So you have to have two vehicles.
I like it. I like that stuff. Thanks, Dan. That's great feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
So Tess, is it me?
Yes, sir.
So first, Tess, I thought when we meet on Monday, I told you, always call on me before Ken Portnoy, because I want to go back to what Ken said, not about the valley of despair, because you have to have an investment period anytime you venture out. And so in the beginning, your expenditures, which are investments, are greater than your revenue, okay? And how you manage the valley is important. Make good investments. And so that's where Ken really struck the note. So in listening, there were amazing ideas, and you're going to get a recording, a video of this, so you can really step back and write down all the great ideas and then pick the 2 or 3, because you can't do everything. And so my suggestions are narrowing your focus geographically and affluence-wise. In fact, talk to Dan Lender about the profile of his clients. They're not necessarily in the seniors year, but they're affluent, generally in a geographic area, and it's a different need, but think in terms of narrowing who that person, that business might be. Okay, and you have to decide, are you B2B or B2C? Because you can't do everything, nor can you be on the Maryland side or in DC when you have another bunch of mobile clients wherever. So one, go narrow. Two, certain allied professionals, like you said, should be instrumental. And personal injury attorneys. It's not every attorney, it's the PI folks. And then as you do that, riches is niches. You gave us 3 30-second great videos. One was about the 3.5-year-old, one was about the 91-year-old. And the passion that you displayed in under 30 seconds told your story of how genuine you are. So whatever are the specific targets, it doesn't mean you're excluding anyone, but you can't be, when you're everything to everyone, you're nothing. So your differentiator might be not only your mobility, which is strong, mobility is strong. By the way, Reggie said Chanel James. I went to my CRM to look up her name. But Reggie will provide a great person for you to meet. And
Awesome.
So yeah, narrow, my friend. So with that, I think we probably have a couple of more slides that we should go after. And gosh, I get to ask the final question. It's usually reserved for one of our other organizers who couldn't be here. So I know you've heard some great ideas today. But what is one other great thing that our 1 Million Cups community can help you with? What's one more thing that we can help support you with?
Oh, geez. Well, I just got a lot of awesome feedback. So first, I just want to say thank you. That was fantastic. I appreciate everybody being so giving with their thoughts. So thank you for that. What can you help me? Honestly, I'm just going to say, reach back out to me again in the future. I'd love to talk again and rehash on some of these things, whether you raise your hand with a question or a comment or not. I'm always open to meet up and to talk and to keep growing and learning how I can do better and be better. So that's what I'll say. Reach out to me again.
Fantastic. Great. Next slide, please. Josh, congratulations, by the way, and thank you. We really appreciate. And by the way, become a regular community member.
All right.
And join us and suggest to other people you know, perhaps they'd like to present. So we're celebrating our 5th anniversary next week in person at the Mason Enterprise Center in Fairfax. So please join us there. This is the first time we're coming together physically in over 2 years, and we hope you can make it. There will be video capabilities for those who need to Zoom in. But gosh, if you can be there, we would love to have you. We're going to open the doors at 8:30, and there will be something like donuts and coffee, and Basil is our coffee sponsor, and he's got to deliver the real thing.
No pressure.
There you go. So please, it's our 5th anniversary. It's next Wednesday.
Okay.
Next slide, please. So you can see that last week Basil presented, this week Optimum presented. Next week, we have an in-person event and we're seeking a presenter. We have a couple of applications in the review process, but we need new presenters. I've heard rumor says Carolyn will be our presenter perhaps on the 22nd, or maybe the 1st, or we'll work on that. So we're excited. And with that, next slide, please. Tess, would you like to give us an update on events?
Sure, no problem. So there are several events that are coming up this week. So we would like to invite anybody, if you're looking for places to network, a happy hour, there's also a round table. Any of these places that you can just, check on the Central Fairfax Chamber of Commerce, and they're all listed there, along with some other things that are charity events, but we try to highlight all the business related events. Also, Donnell John's one of our organizers. He runs and operates a veteran business pop-up shop down in the Woodbridge area. This is a great way for you to support veteran-owned businesses. So he would love to have you come down there and check it out.
All right.
Back to you.
Thank you, Tess. Next slide, please. Interested in becoming an organizer? We would love you to step forward and volunteer. All of us pitch in one way or another. There are some social media roles. There's the need to find presenters. There's policy from time to time that we discuss. We certainly talk about different forms and formats for our meetings. We would love you. I spend 30 minutes in a Monday morning meeting where probably 20 minutes is relatively serious and the other 10 is social. And I would say I spend another hour per week on the scheduler. So when we have presenters, I have to do various things. I don't think anyone really preparing a presenter can take longer. But we have excellent presenters as a result. So if you would consider being an organizer, we would welcome you to step forward. Next slide, please. Tweet us, friend us, do all the things. Make sure you're part of our group on LinkedIn. Do all those important things to broaden the interest in our community. We need your help. Next slide. Thank you. Without you, I would have had nothing to do this morning. More critically, you help weave a fabric among the folks in this room where each of us can call another to ask a question. And that's very cool and very powerful. So thank you. And thank you to the Kauffman Foundation for giving us the structure to meet. And thank you to any other energy source, because so far today, John Norse has not teased me one time. Okay? So to get a smile out of Norse is like a good thing.
I was going to say, if we had a live event and they were getting coffee and donuts, you would be the donuts.
There you go, man. I did bring good coffee when I was the coffee sponsor when we met at John Yu's office, by the way, in the years where he had a camera. So he promises to be that. Hey, with that, I think we can open the mic and everyone can hang out. Maybe some people have other thoughts or ideas for Josh.
Should I stop sharing on Facebook?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, John, I have a question for Dr. Mack. She indicated she was a coach when she was younger, and I want to know if she returns to coaching, will they play the song by Mark Morrison,